boldness that you gain after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. You have just tuned into Where is the Love? I am your host. I am Stephanie Hockenhall. Joining me is my son, my co-host, Gene Williams.
What do you do? What do you do?
What up, what up, what up?
What?
You ready to get this party started?
Let's get it going.
Y'all, if you are here watching us, you should be watching us either on our YouTube channel. Well, a few places you can be watching us. First, you can be watching us on TV. Let me say that. You can
First
be
and foremost
on Roku or Amazon Fire. All you have to do is go to whichever one of those and click on search and then type in PODTV space LIVE. And so you'll be watching Pod TV live. And while we're airing this show, you can watch us live. You can also watch us on podtv.tv website. You can watch us on our YouTube channels, Love Misunderstood Institute or Premier Fitness 0210. You can also, we are live right now on Facebook. We are live right now on YouTube. The YouTube channels, which you can go back and replay those, and we are live on LinkedIn. So we are live on a number of places right now. So share.
Go check us out. Go check us out.
Right. And share. If you're not able to stay and watch the show, and maybe you can come back later, then share. We ask that you share the show so that those that need this information about gaslighting and how to deal with it, please share with your audience. We love that, and we deeply appreciate that. So we are going to unpack gaslighting. We've been unpacking this for a few weeks.
Right.
So we got some more weeks to go because we got a lot of information, and you need it, just like we need it. So,
and the rabbit hole goes deep with this.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to add something before you start giving a recap from last week?
Yeah, just again, the rabbit hole of gaslighting and narcissistic manipulation and control it goes very, very deep. And this is just one link of that chain, but it goes so deep. It's such a dense subject that is, unpacking it the way we have, breaking it down into like how it affects us. On multiple levels is very important.
Yes.
So I'm definitely glad to be doing this work.
Yeah. And so when you realize that you've been gaslit by somebody, we're giving you the information, the tools to know how to deal with it. So we're opening up things to tell you about the different kinds of gaslighting. So just listen up and please comment. Please comment. We are looking forward to your feedback, looking forward to your input, comments.
Right.
So Gene is going to do a recap of last week's show.
All righty. All right. So last week on episode 104, my goodness.
Yes.
We gave you more reasons for what could happen if gaslighting is not addressed and how it can lead to significant and lasting harm across multiple areas of a person's life. We also talked about how ignoring gaslighting does not make it go away.
At all.
It allows its effects to deepen and spread, or it becomes a worse problem, just like a disease or a cancer. You dig? Addressing gaslighting is not just about stopping harm. It's also about reclaiming control, fostering healthy environments, and creating opportunities for growth and healing. Failing to address gaslighting can lead to various life hindrances that extend beyond immediate emotional or psychological harm. These challenges can ripple across all aspects of life, affecting long term personal growth, relationships, career prospects, and overall quality of life.
Yep.
Now, more specifically, the topics that we touched on the last show were first, the loss of personal growth, second, strained or broken relationships, third, career and financial instability, which would cause insecurity at work and decreased productivity as well as financial dependence upon the uh, the person who is manipulating and gaslighting you. Number four is educational challenges, which include academic decline and lost opportunities. Number five is increased risk of exploitation, uh, meaning vulnerability to other abusers and difficulty setting boundaries. Number six is chronic mental health struggles, which cause perpetual anxiety and depression and internalized shame. Number seven is difficulty making decisions, which is paralysis by analysis and dependency again upon the abuser.
Yep.
Um, Number eight is loss of opportunities for fulfillment, which are avoidance of challenges and missed connections. Nine is negative impact on parenting or leadership, which is perpetuating harmful dynamics and also difficulty advocating. Number 10 is health and wellness setbacks, which could show up as neglect of self care and physical illness. Also, we talked about how it could cause spiritual disconnection, loss of faith in self or a creator, emotional isolation. Also, number 12 is legal and safety risks, which may cause you to stay in unhealthy or unsafe environments, and also financial exploitation. We talked about the generational impact of gaslighting and ignoring it, which is influence on children and inherited trauma. Number 14 is lack of advocacy for others, uh, caused by reduced empathy and silencing awareness, as well as missed potential for healing, causing further unresolved trauma and lack of closure. And last but not least, we talked about the effects of gaslighting on people socially withdrawing, causing a fear of socializing and a loss of community.
So, y'all, what Jean has shared is just the highlights of last week's show. So, go back to episode 104, and you can get more details about the highlighted information that he just shared, because all he did is share the highlights. So, to get more details, we went into some personal aspects or personal, parts of our experiences utilizing that information. So that's what we do. We highlight the information, and then if we have had personal experience with those things, then we share that. So those are the things that we go in more in depth about. Um, and so we are going to start today with episode 100. This is episode 105. And so there
Wow.
are some more things that we need to share about. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. There are some more things that we need to share about what happens when you fail to address gaslighting and how it can lead to various life hindrances that extend to beyond immediate emotional or psychological harm. So, here are more of those, and we'll go more into detail in these because this is part of today's show. So, stifled creativity and innovation, which is could be fear of risk taking, constant self doubt, and fear of failure can hinder creativity and the ability to think outside the box. We all need to be able to think outside the box, but this stifled creativity and innovation has us fearful of doing that and fearful of taking the risk. And then also added to that is a lack of confidence in ideas. Victims may suppress their innovative thinking, avoiding contributing to conversations or projects. And we should
Right.
all be able to um, share. We shouldn't have to avoid contributing to conversations or projects. We should be able to share our innovative thinking about whatever it is. We should be
Right.
free to do that without being fearful of being heard or talked about or put down or
Right.
controlled in some way or even manipulated. So,
Right.
you want to add anything?
Yeah, for sure. So, again, dealing with gaslighting, it will definitely have you in a fear of lack of confidence and fear of risk taking because it makes you question everything about yourself, your intelligence, your creativity, your ability to contribute positively to anything. It always has you on edge and like, I think this, but it may not be a good idea. I don't want to deal with the criticism of someone, um, again, generally speaking, people that you are close to or working with, or even in a romantic relationship, having them make you question everything about yourself. Am I worthy of this? Am I worthy of that? Is this idea valid? Does it hold weight? And it's just unfair to be in a space where you have to constantly question yourself because of those around you who you are either in a relationship with romantically, platonically, or even on the business level. Like those are spaces that you need to be open to be yourself freely um, without any limitations.
Right. Um, and it's not fair. And not that gaslighters care what's fair about what's fair or what's not, but it's
Right,
not fair for people to have to hold back and to restrain themselves or suppress, have their emotions suppressed because of,
right,
fear of what people think or might say. So we're going to move
right,
on because we have a lot to cover. But so the next thing is struggles with conflict resolution. And people already struggle with that. But so part of the struggles with conflict resolution would be avoidance of confrontation. Fear of being manipulated or dismissed can lead victims to shy away from addressing conflicts. I just had this conversation this afternoon, but
hmm,
let me finish this. So another thing about the struggle with resolution is the inability to advocate for themselves. Without
right,
tools to counter manipulation, victims may struggle to assert their needs in challenging situations. And that's
right,
horrible because we should
right,
all be free to, um, again, to express ourselves. But when we know we're not free and we don't have the strength or the courage to speak up for ourselves or the support system to back us up when we do, create those boundaries, it's difficult to be able to say something. So you
right,
just, man, avoiding this confrontation is so much easier than addressing it, is how we think. And then
right,
so things go left undone. I mean, we end up dealing with the trauma, because it becomes trauma, to us. If not right away, it eventually becomes trauma because things are building and
right,
building and building and building, and we're letting things go without speaking up and creating those boundaries. So
right,
avoiding things, we may feel like it's good for now, but in the long run, it's not good. We
right,
have to address the situation because as long as we act like it ain't happening, nothing can be fixed.
right.
You want to add something?
Yeah, for sure. So, and generally speaking, a person who has a fear of confrontation and avoids it, really like, we may tell ourselves that this is just to avoid conflict, but really the person who avoids or runs from conflict feels disempowered.
Yeah.
Um, they do it from fear that they will be overpowered by someone who they deem in their minds stronger than them or louder than them. And if you pay attention, a lot of times people who gaslight, they're generally the person in the room that's the loudest and always has to say something, always has an opinion. Sometimes it's just best to sit back and pay attention. You don't always have to be yapping. You learn more information by paying attention as opposed to running your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, you got two ears and one mouth. You're supposed to do two times as much listening as you do talking. So,
Right.
sometimes shut up and listen, man.
I can't remember how he used to say it, but how Chris said it, um you can't receive if you're always transmitting, you know.
Right. Exactly. Right. Exactly. Very true words.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shut your pie
And
hole.
you're right. Shut it. Put some in it. Close your
Sometimes.
mouth. Zip your lips. Button your lips.
Yeah. Is sometimes it's just so much easier to just run away from stuff.
Right.
Just forget it. Just so you want to add something else before we move to
Yeah,
the
I was
next.
gonna say. I was gonna say that anytime that you feel disempowered, and it's because of the actions or the words of another, then that means you need to exit stage left. Because again, in any space where you are limited, your autonomy and your own agency is not a good space, and there's no growth there for you.
Right.
It's like putting a plant in a box and expecting it to grow. It'll never happen. It'll
Yeah.
never happen. You take the top off of that box, a couple weeks later, and that plant is completely dead. And the same thing happens to a person who's
Yeah.
experiencing gaslighting and fear of confrontation, and 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 then lacking the ability to advocate for yourself when you're going through manipulation.
Yeah.
Like, man, you have to be able to speak up for yourself. You're the first line of defense for you.
Yeah.
And if you don't stand up for you, who else can?
Yeah. So, would you share the Facebook page,
Yeah, for
my
sure.
Facebook page to your Facebook page?
Gotcha.
So, I wanted to add to while Gina's doing that, I wanted to shoot. I forgot what I was going to add. Oh, in order to encourage yourself and strengthen yourself, because if you're not used to advocating for yourself, speaking up for yourself, same thing, if you're not used to doing that, then you have to find some way to build up courage within yourself. So, one of the ways to be able to build up courage within yourself is to do affirmations, say affirmations. I am smart. I can do this. I am chosen. I can, encourage myself. I can create boundaries. When you keep saying things like that,
I am powerful.
yes. When you keep saying things like that, and you're saying it not to yourself under your breath, but you're saying it aloud so your ears can hear it, then you're sending it out um, into the atmosphere. And so when you're sending it out into the atmosphere, you're definitely going to get back what you have put out there. So, so you're going to believe what you're saying if you keep saying it. I am smart. I can do this. I can speak up to people. I will not let people run over me. So
Right.
that's affirming what you will and will not take. And so remember, what there's power in words. So whatever you
Hmm.
say,
Life and
you
death.
yes. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah.
So go
I did
ahead.
want to say one more thing real quick. So again, just so you gotta reverse engineer it. When you're in a place where you feel disempowered, that means that something or someone is taking the power from you, which means you were powerful in the first place. So
Right.
with that mindset, you have to reclaim that power. We are all creators. We all have the ability to create our reality as we see it or as we desire. But when we lose our ability to speak up for ourselves and uh, confront people when they're doing things that don't resonate with the image or the creation of reality that you see fit as a creator, then you have to cut off. It's like pruning, dead leaves off of a plant. You got to cut off those things that are hindering the growth,
Yeah.
and which again fully further substantiates the fact that we are powerful.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. You're already it. Just speak it and then
Right.
be it.
Whoop! Say it again and then put it on a t-shirt. Say it one more time and put it
I
on a
don't know if
t-shirt.
I can say it like that. I have to go back and rewind this.
Rewind. Pull it up.
Okay, so you want to do number 19?
Yes. All right. So again, ignoring gaslighting could cause dependency on toxic relationships. It can cause codependency. Victims may become overly reliant on gaslighters or others for validation, reinforcing cycles of manipulation. And they also have the inability to leave. Victims may stay in unhealthy relationships due to diminished self-worth and fear of the unknown. How
Yeah,
many of us out there have had friends who are in an abusive relationship and they make excuses for the abuser.
yeah,
Well, if I hadn't have done this, then he or she wouldn't have done that, or I just need to do better, or that's the way they show me they love me. That has always puzzled me.
yeah,
This person is beating your face in or cussing you out on a regular, demeaning you, and that's how they show you that they love you.
love
Further goes,
misunderstood. Where
man,
is the love?
where is the love? Lord, love is not abusive. Love
No,
is not demeaning,
no,
you know,
not at all.
man. And yeah, like I said, it further just causes a codependency on the person who's doing the abusing because you have lost your agency and your autonomy as a person, your ability to to be an individual.
Yeah,
They steal it from you, if you allow them to. But you got to remember that you have the power in the first place to either allow or disallow.
right.
You being empowered or disempowered. It's up to you. The power, the like Captain Planet used to say, the power is yours.
Mark said love is a positive action verb, not a negative word.
There
You
we
right.
go. Yep. Amen to that, brother.
You want to
All
do the
right.
next one?
Yeah. All right. And next is the risk of self-destructive behaviors. Yes, Lord. Substance abuse. Some victims turn to alcohol or drugs as a coping mechanism for the stress and confusion caused by gaslighting. Oh, yeah. Self-harm. Prolonged emotional distress may lead individuals to harm themselves as a way to regain a sense of control or release pain. So I can absolutely speak to both of those. Um, for a while in an abusive relationship, I was bodying 1.5 liter bottles practically every day
Yeah,
of vodka or whatever I was drinking at the time because I was such at a level of anxiety and stress that like that was the only thing that helped me, I guess, detach. And
yeah,
it wasn't a healthy detachment because I was consciously causing self-harm
yeah,
by drinking so much that like sometimes I wouldn't remember what I did the day before. I mean,
yeah,
it would take some time for me to remember, oh, okay, this is what I did, And then when you're dealing with a gaslighter and you have those lapses of memory, oh, they will use those against you.
yeah,
Well, now you said and did this. No, that don't feel right.
yeah,
You know what I mean? When you can't remember what you did, you can remember the feeling of what you did, or like someone tells you you did something, and you're like, no, that don't feel right. That don't resonate with me. You know what I mean? I know who I am. Yes, I get a little more rowdy when I'm intoxicated, but I'm not abusive. Like I don't. Yeah, I'm. Now I might cuss you out.
become more bold.
Hey, let me tell you something. You don't play with me like that. Who you think you talking to? Now listen. If you listen, there wouldn't have to be an argument because you always try to defend a point that there is no point to defend. But I digress.
Mark says you playing the dozens with the folks again.
Hey, oh man, you don't want to play checking with me when I'm intoxicated. I will check you. Ooh, Lord, I will check until checking is unchecked and then checked again.
Okay,
Man,
so let's do because we want to finish these today.
for sure.
So you want to do the legal vulnerability, or you want me to do it?
I can do that. All right,
Okay.
so again, ignoring gaslighting can cause legal vulnerability. Uh, you can experience exploitation. Gaslighters may manipulate victims into making poor legal or financial decisions, leading to loss of assets or entanglement in lawsuits. Difficulty seeking justice. Victims may doubt their experiences, making it harder to report abuse or hold perpetrators accountable. Um, yeah, and you'll hear a lot. Um, you'll hear a lot when a person is dealing with a person who's a gaslighter and a manipulator that they try to, one, stifle the person's personal growth as it pertains to exploring things that will make them um, powerful on their own. You
Yeah.
know, like you'll hear people say, well, I don't want you doing that no more. I'll take care of you. No, absolutely not. That,
Yeah.
that puts me in a place of vulnerability where I'm not bringing in any money, and now I can only do what you allow me to do because you're the one
Right.
who's bringing in the money. Who
Yeah.
wants to live like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Or yeah, or investing money into things that you know are flimsy, just so they can again cause you to have no money. So now you depend upon them.
Right.
No one should have to live like that.
So that
Um,
gives them the power again, and it gives them the control over you.
right, exactly, right.
Those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't want a person like that having any control or say so over who you are as a person because um, again, it's not conducive to you being in a good place. It's again, you are in a position of being manipulated and controlled by someone else who does not, I repeat, does not have your best interest in mind. I mean,
Yeah.
if they did, they wouldn't gaslight you.
Right.
People who truly love you would not gaslight or manipulate you.
True.
So,
Very true. That's not what love is.
right, big facts, big facts. That ain't love. That's something else, though. Don't call it love. You don't taint the name of love. That's like wiping your butt on the word love.
Ooh. Okay, let's go to the next one.
I know it's 22. It's professional reputation damage. You can undermine credibility. Gaslighting in professional settings can damage an individual's reputation, making them appear to be unreliable or incompetent. You can speak to that one. Missed networking opportunities. Fear of interacting with others may prevent victims from building essential professional relationships.
It's so hard when you're in a professional setting, and this is a place where you have to um, answer to somebody else. In other words, your work is not for you. uh oh, can you see what Mark said?
If I go to the chat, it's gonna mess up
Okay,
my
don't
thing.
leave it
So
alone, leave it alone.
yeah, right.
uh, but when you're in a professional setting, it's already hard because you're doing something for somebody. The outcome is supposed to be for somebody else and not for yourself, so that makes a big difference there. um, and so that you can damage somebody else's reputation, um, and then you are the one that appear to be incompetent, and not
Mhm.
knowing your job. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that because again, I want to finish these. But it's so hard because you're fearful of messing up, and so you do mess up,
Right.
because that's your fear.
Right.
So we want to move on to the next thing. So, inability to set goals, lack of motivation, persistent self doubt can make setting and achieving personal or professional goals seem impossible. And also, with the inability to set goals is fear of change. Victims may resist pursuing new opportunities, fearing failure or additional manipulation.
Right.
Fear will eat you up, and
And spit you out.
so it would be chew you up and spit you out. That's
Oh
exactly
yeah.
what fear would do.
Right.
Because, I mean, we are holding our minds hostage, to something that may not even be what we, believe it to be, or how we view it. So,
Mhm.
uh, we have to deal with fear. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought, but we have to deal with fear, um, and overcome that so that we can deal with things appropriately, deal with things in a positive way. Otherwise, we're messing a lot of stuff up just because we're afraid we're going to.
Right.
So, um, you want to do loss of autonomy?
Right. All right. So not addressing gaslighting can cause a loss of autonomy. Over reliance on others. Victims may become dependent on others for decision making, giving up control over their own lives. And again, inability to advocate for themselves. A lack of confidence can hinder efforts to stand up for personal rights and needs. Um, and again, I've experienced from dealing with the gaslighter and person with narcissistic personality disorder, um, the loss of autonomy. You lose yourself in the story or the narrative that they create for you. You you become, or you allow yourself to be molded into
Yeah.
something or someone that you're not.
Right.
You're molded by their hands in the image that they seek for you, as opposed
Right.
to who you're originally created to be, an image
I
of the
like
creator. Yeah,
I like that how you put that. So true.
yeah. And number 25 is erosion of ethical boundaries. It could cause compromised values. Gaslighters may convince victims to act against their moral compass, leading to guilt and internal conflict. And it also could cause a normalization of harm. Victims may become desensitized to manipulation or abusive behavior, perpetrating harmful cycles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And dealing with a person who's a gaslighter and a manipulator, they'll definitely have you acting out of character. Again, they molded you in their image,
Yeah.
in the image of you that they seek.
Yeah.
Um, and when you start to do things that are not in your nature, yeah, I mean, it's time to run for it, partner. I mean, at that
That's
point, you deep in it, but
and that's usually when people wake up when and
mhm,
see, I'm doing something this is not even me. This is not
right,
my character. You know, um, when people have messed over you so much, and like you said, molded them, in there, and I mold you in my image, and so now you doing stuff that you don't normally do and all out of character.
right,
And then when I find myself doing stuff out of character, uh,
hmm
I get mad. I'm like,
yeah,
listen, I am done with you. I am done with you. Because
right,
now here I am acting like somebody I don't even know who I am. I don't like this. I don't want this.
right,
That's why I get mad, because I realize I've been taken into a place in my mind that I don't want to be in.
right,
And it's because I was being a people pleaser and trying to please somebody else, and now I'm all jacked up in my mind, and you walking away grinning. It's, as they say, skinning and grinning, because you got
right,
what you wanted, and I'm all jacked up in the mind.
right. Over here questioning myself. Yep.
Right? Who am I? What
Right. How did I get here?
Right? and you deep in it then.
Right. Yep.
So is it? Go ahead.
26. All right. Also, ignoring gaslighting may impact on parenting. Difficulty teaching assertiveness. Victims may struggle to model healthy boundaries or self-confidence for their children, which replicates harmful patterns. Without intervention, victims may unintentionally perpetuate gaslighting behaviors in family dynamics. Um, yeah, I mean, if you know how children are. Children are more about what they see as opposed to what you tell them. You know,
Yeah,
you can tell me all day to assert myself, but if I don't see you assert yourself, then I have no basis to reflect the assertiveness that's needed to stand up for yourself.
yeah,
Um, so again, we are examples. We take on the example of our parents and those around us. So if you can't assert yourself, then there's no way I can. I don't have the framework. I don't have the frame of reference.
that's good. Well said.
All right, number 27.
That's so
Number
good,
20.
grasshopper.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, come on. All right, number 27 is diminished capacity for joy. That's a hard one. Difficulty experiencing happiness. Constant doubt and emotional exhaustion can rob victims of the ability to enjoy life's pleasures. Also can cause suppressed optimism. A lack of trust in oneself can diminish hope for the future. And yeah, again, being with a gaslighter and the person who manipulates you will definitely rob you of happiness because everything is a task now. Everything is arduous. Everything is an uphill battle constantly while you dragging somebody up this mountain. I remember one of my good friends, he and I talked about the particular relationship I was in. He was like, the analogy was you're climbing up a mountain. This person is tethered to you, and they're just laying out like this as you struggle to climb up each step.
Not
And that's
helping
what
you.
right, exactly. And that was the analogy that he came up with. And I was like, man, just the thought of that alone was like, yeah. And it's like when you're deep in that, it's hard to be happy because everything is an issue. You never know when the other shoe is going to drop. When things are good, you wait for the other shoe to drop. Okay, what's going to happen? Is it okay to smile?
Yeah.
Who is it okay to truly be happy? Can I truly be happy? And as soon as you be like, dang, I was getting happy and then this happened. And,
Yeah. It's just like
okay.
deflating your balloon.
Yes, exactly. Pop.
Yeah. Mark, yeah. Mark said the other shoe or the big boot.
Yeah, that too. Exactly. Boot upside the head like I did Tina in the back of the limo.
So I want to share real quick something that I do that I have found to make myself happy. To So from the last thing that you said about diminished capacity for joy, I
Hmm.
have found joy, and so I make sure that I do it, every day. And so we know that social media is about videos now mostly, and so I
Yeah.
watch, there's a few people that I watch that I know are going to make me laugh because I've seen so many of their videos and they're always funny. So I will
Right.
sit, sometimes I think, what did I do today? Oh man, I haven't laughed today, or I haven't
Right.
laughed enough.
Hmm.
So I think either one of those ways, and then I'm like, let me look at some videos, and then so I'll start
Right.
watching those videos. Go to their um, pages, social media sites, and just sit and laugh. And sometimes I do that, and 2 hours has gone by, and I
Hmm.
laugh, laugh, laugh. Well, I made myself happy. I
Right.
laugh myself to happy. I
Right.
knew how to where to go get it, and I did
Hmm.
because I thought, dang, I haven't even laughed today, or I haven't laughed enough. So either one of those ways, I think, then I'm like, I know exactly what to do where I can get some laughs at. I love
Right.
comedy; it's just funny to
Yeah.
me. So,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
wanted to add that. You want to add something?
Yeah. I was gonna say, the Bible says laughter is good medicine.
And you know
Mhm.
what I say all the time? I
What was
say
that?
laughter is a good medicine, and I take my doses all day long, every day.
You know,
I, I
give me the happy drug. Give me the happy drug. It's
yep,
called laughter.
yep. And so I think about that quite often. Um, that scripture, and that's what what makes me think about how did I laugh enough today, or did I laugh at all today? Okay, well, if I got to think about it too much, um,
Right.
then I know, okay, let me get these videos, let me get this fixed, you know. So,
Right. 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 There we
so
go.
yeah, so that's my fix. And I'm like, wow, I've been sitting here 2 hours, I've been sitting here an hour just flipping through videos, just laughing. But
Right.
I mean, laughter is a good medicine, and I take my doses all day long, as much as I can every day. So I
Yeah.
overdose on it. But
Right.
I'm happy, I ain't sad.
Right.
I just
And
want
what
to
you
be.
did is, and what you did is you consciously changed your vibration. You know, by being, you were in a possibly in a depressive state before, and you
Yeah,
consciously went to laughter to raise your vibration and to lighten your
yeah,
energy.
yeah,
So yeah, again, just asserting your your power as a creator. You
yeah,
created a different environment, a different vibrational pull towards yourself, gravitational pull towards yourself by constantly going to what you know is going to raise your vibration.
yeah,
By simply sitting there and watching some videos that made you laugh, and now you're not
yeah.
feeling heavy anymore.
Right,
You're feeling light
exactly.
and effervescence.
Yeah. And sometimes, it's not, sometimes, I may be sad, but other times I'm like, what did I do today? Because I'm trying
Mhm.
to think more about, what did I do today? Who did I help? How did I help? Did I
Mhm.
help anybody? Um,
Right.
and so, when I think about stuff like that, that's what makes me think, okay, well, I must not have did it enough, so
Mhm.
let me get my laugh on, kind of like. And I just thought about this when y'all were growing up. I used to watch specifically, when y'all were in high school. I used to watch Comic View every night
I remember.
just to laugh, because I'm like,
Right.
I need my laugh for the day. I just thought about that. But I
Hmm.
used to do that every night. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I know I can get some laughs.
Right.
Wow. So I
Oh
still
Lord.
do the same thing, but just by something else. It's not
Right.
necessarily a
Oh,
comedian, but they are comedians because of the stuff they do, to make you
right.
laugh.
Right.
So Mark said,
Yep.
laughter and a smile will cure many things. That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to add something?
You like I said, you chose your reality by shifting,
Yep.
your vibration from something dense and heavy to something light and effervescent, by going and seeking, laughter.
Yep.
Um, Again, you asserted your control, your power as a creator, to create your reality as you please.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to realize, even going through situations of gaslighting and manipulation and things of that nature. Like, you have the ability to either create more days of abuse and control and manipulation, or the opposite, you
Right.
know to create a reality where that is no longer part of your
Yeah.
experience.
Yep.
um, And as we said before, you have to have a great support system to create that distance from a person who's constantly manipulating and controlling you. So, you need to set that in place.
Yeah.
Uh, but you still have the power to
Yep.
create things as you please. So exercise it. Either
Yeah.
way, if you stay in the abusive relationship, you use your power as a creator to create more things that you don't like.
Yeah. Wow.
And and conversely, when you do the opposite, you use your power as a creator to create the opposite. So
Yeah.
whether you choose to stay in that situation or get out of it, you're exercising your power as a creator on both terms.
Simply by making a choice.
Yep, yep, yep.
That's
Agreed.
that's good.
All right. And number 28 is barriers to leadership. First off, ignoring gaslighting can cause a fear of responsibility. Victims may avoid leadership roles, fearing they're incapable of managing others effectively. Uh, it can also cause inconsistent decision making. Doubts instilled by gaslighting can hinder the ability to make clear, confident decisions in leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
when you're dealing with a,
go ahead.
I was gonna say when you're dealing with a manipulator, it makes you again feel disempowered. Like you don't have anything valuable to add to a situation. And that's very untrue. I mean, if you're here, you have something valuable to give.
Yep.
So trust in your abilities, trust in your power, trust in, you know, again that you're a reflection of the all. So obviously you have everything within you to create your reality as you please. That in itself makes you powerful.
Yep. I was That's so very true. We have to acknowledge, well, we have to understand what's already on the inside of us, you know,
Right,
like you said. And once we, understand that, then we understand that we do have the power to, make a choice to change whatever the situation is.
right,
Um, and it's simply, do I want to stay in this or do I want to get out? So you don't
right,
know getting out, where that getting out may lead you, but you have to, just walk that way,
right,
walk in faith,
right,
and just believe that it's going to be better than what you left behind. Another thing that just came to mind is, having your hand closed. When you have your hand closed, you can't put nothing in your hand,
right,
because you got that tight grip. No, I
right.
don't know how to get out of this situation. I don't know how to find joy, I
Hmm.
don't, and so you are like, but I don't want to be feeling like I'm feeling. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel down. I don't want to feel hopeless or helpless or, like I can't create boundaries or like I got to avoid issues and like I got to do all of these negative things. And so holding on to all these negative things, I don't want this. So you open your hand. And once you open your hand to receive something that you didn't know about. So then positive things can come. But as
Right,
long as your hand is closed, nothing can get in because you got your hand closed too tight and your grip is too tight on those things that don't even matter, that ain't helping you, you
right.
know. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Now, I actually like to add to that analogy a little bit. Not only when you're closing your fist are you not allowing new things in, but you can't release the thing that's harming you. So it's like you're holding on to this cancerous, venomous thing. But when you open your hand, not only can you receive, but you can also release that thing that's holding you back.
yeah, yeah, that's good. So
You got to
Mark
create.
said,
You got to make space. You got to make space for that new thing by releasing the old thing that no longer serves you. So it's like you open your hand, you realize, oh, this is what I got in my hand. I'm gonna drop that
yep,
and make space for something better.
yeah, throw that behind me. I don't want
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna fling it. I'm gonna fling it, not sling it. I'm gonna fling it.
So Mark said, not understanding that the abusive relationship is only stopping them from their true treasures. That's true. You know,
Hmm.
you can't have true treasures, get the true treasures if you holding so tightly onto those false treasures, something that ain't
Right.
even serving you well. Let the
Right.
stuff go. Let
Yep.
the crap go.
Yep. 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 Yeah. When you're holding on to like and check it though, if you think about it along these terms, like if you are holding something that you don't want and you are blessed with something better, then that thing that is no longer serving you will taint
Yeah,
that true gift. You know, it will one rotten apple spoils the whole bunch. You
yeah,
know, so that's that type of thing. So that's why you have to release that old thing, that old pattern of thinking, the old way of being, things of that nature to receive something new by opening your hand and releasing that has become poisonous to you.
right.
Release that poison so that you can be healed, so that you can
Yep,
get the antidote.
yep, that's true. You can't, because if your hand is closed, you can't receive the antidote.
Right.
If your hand
Exactly.
is open, you like, give me whatever I need to
Yep.
fix this, because
Yep.
I let go so I can receive.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Mhm.
So, number 28, barriers to leadership. You read that. So, spiritual disconnect, loss of, did you finish reading that?
Yep.
Okay. So, spiritual disconnect, loss of purpose. Gaslighting can erode a victim's sense of purpose or spiritual identity, leaving them feeling unmoored, which means insecure, confused, or lacking contact with reality. So another thing
Mhm.
that spiritual disconnect does is it's difficult. You have difficulty forgiving. Emotional scars may make it challenging to find peace or let go of resentment. So, the Bible talks about forgiving 70 times 7 times. Who gonna sit up and count that many? You know,
Right.
that means you really got a problem forgiving people. And and as a forgiveness coach, I had to learn, a certified forgiveness coach, I had to learn that when you're part of that, holding on to and letting go is where that comes from. But as a forgiveness coach, if you're holding on to stuff, you're holding yourself hostage. You're not hurting the person that you're angry with or upset about, or that you're harboring this unforgiveness about. You're hurting yourself. I mean, they've said or done whatever it is, and they've gone on. They don't care.
Right.
Sometimes they don't even realize, they hurt you. So we have to, it's best to forgive, to allow yourself to heal, because
Hmm.
as long as you're holding, I mean, um, we have family members, that are holding on to so much onto the past, the anger, and you're 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80 years old, and you're still holding on to things of the past and still talking about it like it happened yesterday,
Yesterday.
or
Yep.
today, you know. And so that means that you have been holding on to that for too long. Why are you still, and you still have that same anger like it just happened? That means you
Hmm.
haven't forgiven. And
Right.
people say forgive and forget. Well, you forgive people, you might still have that memory, but you don't still have that same pain, you know,
Hmm.
like it happened 60 years ago, and you're talking today and feeling that exact same pain. When you forgive somebody, it's not like that.
Right.
You might think about the thing, but you don't experience that exact same pain like it just happened, you know.
Right.
And as you heal, start to heal from the time that you decided to forgive, as you start to heal from that thing, when you think about it again, you think, well, dang, I remember when I, excuse me, I remember when I used to really get mad about this. Or I remember when I used to think about this and I would throw things, or I would break things,
Hmm.
or, something like that. And now, I think about it and I don't feel that same pain. That's because you have truly forgiven.
Right.
When you haven't truly forgiven, you're harboring bitterness, anger, hatred, frustration, all of these negative emotions, and we have a family member, that'll talk about stuff and get really upset about the stuff and start yelling. I mean, the voice inflections and all of that, and
Right.
I'm like, wow, you still holding on to that? I
Right.
mean, so as a forgiveness coach, certified forgiveness coach, forgive. It's hurting you. It ain't hurting them. And a lot of times, these people that you're still angry with are dead and gone. They're not even in your life anymore. They haven't been in your life for years, and you're still talking about the thing like it just happened yesterday. We have to
Right.
forgive and let things go. You want to add?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So one thing about forgiveness, one of the sayings that you'll hear a lot is that forgiveness is not about the perpetrator. It's for you.
Yep.
You have to not only forgive them, but you also have to forgive yourself
Yep.
for allowing that situation into your life. Because again, we are the creators of our reality. Um, so you allow this for whatever reason. Forgive yourself for allowing this. Learn the lesson. And I also think that that scripture, forgiving 70 times seven, is because forgiveness does not happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's not an instantaneous thing.
Right.
You have to piece by piece.
Yes.
When it comes back up again, you have to forgive.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm still feeling this.
Yep.
Okay, so I need to unpack this some more and figure
Yep.
out why I'm still holding on to this. And the more you address it like that, the less sting, the less power it has on you. So
Definitely.
it's a constant process, just like healing. It doesn't happen overnight. You get a cut, it don't heal overnight. You don't wake up the next morning that cut is completely healed. It may take a week or two, and
Yeah.
that's just the surface. You just see
Yeah.
the surface. You don't even know what's going on under the surface. So forgiveness is a multi-layered, constant thing.
Yeah.
It's constant conscious work that you
Yeah.
have to do. When it
Yeah.
comes up again, or you feel something, if you get triggered by something, that lets you know that you still not healed from that.
Right.
Triggers are indications of trauma.
Right.
And when you're able to realize that as such and do the work behind that to help you further lessen the sting of whatever trauma that you've experienced, then you're able to take the next step towards your healing journey and your
Yeah.
forgiveness journey. So, first, take radical responsibility of everything that transpires in your life. Everything that happens is because first it was supposed to happen, and
Right.
two, you helped create it.
Yeah.
You helped create it, and now you have to uncreate it or create something new in its place. And that's work. It don't happen overnight, especially when you have something that's cyclical and keeps coming up. Then you got to do that work every time it comes up. I got to address it right now,
Yep.
or it's going to get worse. It's going to become a
Yep.
cancer.
Yep.
If you still talking about something that happened 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, and you still have that same anger, and yeah, you within your body, like the physical body will begin to manifest that, you know, be it constant substance abuse or, mental health issues or cancer or high blood pressure or things of that nature. Like, it shows up.
Yeah.
The life is our mirror. When you have disease and things of that nature, it's because it's something within you that's creating that disease. And
Yeah.
it's and because the universe is mental, it's what you keep in your mind. It's your constant thoughts that create that form into your physical reality.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Um, y'all, we are at the end of our show. And we just want to say thank you for joining the show. Thank you for looking back at the replays. Thank you for your comments in advance. Let us know what you're thinking, any questions you might have, anything you want to share. We just appreciate you and we just want to say thank you. So, with that being said, we send you peace, we send you love. Take care and bye for now. See you next Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.